Well, as I said, Prince Harry and his wife Meghan visited the Queen together for the first time in more than 2 years over the weekend. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex travelled to Windsor Castle for a brief meeting while on the way from Los Angeles to the Invictus Games in the Netherlands. Russell Myers is royal editor of the Daily Mirror and he joins me now from London. Russell, thank you for your time. This was a big story, quite unexpected over the weekend. Was this an attempt to clear the air with the Queen?
Well, good evening, Peter. Thanks for having me on. Well, I think that's a big question, isn't it? Because Prince Harry has been involved in a much publicised court case against the British government, claiming that he feels unsafe, that London and indeed the UK is a far too dangerous place for him to visit with his family. And so, therefore, he didn't come over for the Duke of Edinburgh's memorial service attended by the Queen and the rest of the royal family just a couple of weeks ago. And here we are, him flying in to see the Queen and the Prince of Wales on a secret trip. Make of that what you will, because obviously the Queen's Platinum Jubilee is coming up, a lot of attention on the royal family. Harry and Meghan have been out of the limelight for quite a considerable time, and it does seem to be a rather opportune moment for them to pitch up and to potentially try and heal old wounds that are really, really still festering.
Do we know how long the meeting was? Because I've seen reports where it was very short, 10 or 15 minutes, and that apparently the Queen, as a deal breaker for a meeting with her, required Harry and Meghan to first meet with Prince Charles and Camilla. How true is all of that?
Well, again, that's certainly my understanding. Ever the diplomat, that the Queen did insist that Harry should meet up with his father beforehand and not just entertain a meeting with her. But this had been planned in advance. However, Harry was late to the meeting, I understand, therefore it only lasted 15 minutes with his father. It certainly wasn't any huge reconciliation. There has been severely strained relations between the two of them over recent months due to Harry and Meghan's behaviour in terms of leaving the royal family, the Oprah Winfrey interview that we're still speaking about and that the royals are absolutely still reeling from. However, again, I'm told very, very cordial, respectful from both parties. However, I don't think that this is the sort of precursor to a big reconciliation. I think that there is still an awful, awful long way to go before the rest of the royal family can trust Harry and Meghan, because they've said an awful lot of hurtful things recently.
There was talk too that they were followed everywhere by a Netflix crew. I don't know if they were at Windsor Castle, but this was all about a documentary for the Invictus Games. And some critics in the UK have said, how much of this was all about exploiting the Queen, tying in this visit with a documentary. There's concern with courtiers, we're told, about this biography or autobiography coming from Harry, and a worry that it might overshadow the Platinum Jubilee.
Well, these are all, very, very valid points that Netflix have been following Harry and Meghan in The Hague, in the Netherlands, over the weekend and into this week. Harry is doing a documentary with Netflix, part of their huge deal, if you recall. I mean, this is sort of nearly a $200 million deal with Netflix that they are going to be producing documentaries. And again, people wondered about the timing. Netflix, I understand, weren't in Windsor with Harry and Meghan where they did meet the royal family. However, will this form part of the Invictus documentary? Will they do a fly-on-the-wall documentary later on down the line? I just don't think that Harry and Meghan's currency is that altogether great, because they've said an awful lot of hurtful things to the royal family. There is intense nervousness inside the palace and within the family itself that if they were to come over for the Platinum Jubilee, would it completely overshadow what we should be celebrating, and that is 70 years of the Queen on the throne. There's the Queen has had her own health problems of late, and certainly she needs all her strength to be even able to make those engagements. So again, I do think that this might be baby steps to trying to repair relationships, but let's not forget that there have been sort of severe mudslinging going on over the last couple of years, and that certainly won't be forgotten in a hurry.
What's your predictions for Harry's book? When's it likely to land, and is it going to cause indigestion, to say the least, with inside the royal family?
Well, I think that putting it mildly, to be honest, because they are intensely nervous about it. I mean, the memoir is due to be released in the autumn. Again, we would just be coming out of the Queen's big summer Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Whether Harry and Meghan do attend, whether that will then feature in his book. I mean, how could the royal family be standing on the balcony of Buckingham Palace thinking that Harry is secretly noting down all the instances and conversations that he's had with his family? That may appear in a memoir just several months later. I mean, it's absolutely extraordinary turn of events, and again puts into that motion of whether they can be trusted. I mean, there will be things obviously said about members of the family, the breakdown of the relationship with Prince of Wales, the breakdown of the relationship with Prince William, the fact that they weren't necessarily permitted to leave the royal family like they wanted to, then they dropped the bombshell on Instagram. All of this will be featuring in the book. And then, will there be personal attacks on Prince William, the Duchess of Cornwall? I mean, it's going to be explosive, that's for sure.
We'll watch it all closely. Royal editor at the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers, appreciate your time. All right, the Queen turns 96 on Thursday. Family, you can't get rid of them, can you? Poor old Queen.